Hello my students. Today we will continue the chapter Animal Kingdom with the phylum, that is Echinodermata. Okay. In our previous classes we have completed up to phylum Mollusca. Today we will continue with the phylum Echinodermata and we will see what are the special characteristics phylum Echinodermata is having. Okay. So today's topic is Echinodermata. The term is derived from the echinus. That is, echinus means spine and derma means skin. Echinus means spine and derma means skin. That's why they are commonly called as spiny bodied. Their common name is, or commonly they are called as spiny bodied. What are the other characteristics? The main characteristics of phylum Echinodermata, they are mainly marine and they are having a calcareous skeleton. Okay, what type of skeleton? Endoskeleton. So first property is calcareous endoskeleton, and all are exclusively marine. They are having organ system level of organization, organ system level of body organization, and they are triploblastic, they are coelomate, and in case of Echinodermata, a special type of symmetry is seen, that is radial symmetry. In adult form, they are radially symmetrical. But when they are in larval state, they are not radially symmetrical, they are bilaterally symmetrical. So adult form is radially symmetrical, that means they shows radial symmetry, but in case of larva, they shows bilateral symmetry. Okay, you know the meaning of that radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Okay, so as you can see that they are having some larval form. What are the different larvae? That is bipinnarial larva, brachiolar larva, doliolar larva. These are the different larval forms of Echinodermata. And if larval form is found, that means development must be indirect. Okay, so development is indirect. So next, indirect development. No need to memorize, because with the help of that, as you know the meaning of all these terms, so you can easily identify their characters. Indirect development. So what does that term mean? Calcareous endoskeleton, that means their body is quite hard. Okay, their body is quite hard and it is made up of calcium. That's why we have mentioned that they are calcareous endoskeleton. What are the other properties? Another important feature they are having, that is water vascular system. Okay, their main feature, one of the main feature is water vascular system. What is the function of that water vascular system? It helps in locomotion, capture, transportation. So function of this water vascular system is locomotion, capture and transport of food, respiration. With the help of that water vascular system, they can respire, they can locomote, and capturing and transportation of food materials also. Their body is divided into two parts, that is two sides. One is oral side and another one is aboral side. So their body has two sides, oral and aboral. As the term suggests that on the oral side mouth will be there and aboral side the opposite side of the mouth. And this in that water vascular system it is also called ambulacral system, okay, with the characteristic features, and some groups or some tube-like structures are arising. So these are called as tube feet. Which are tube feet, these structures are called tube feet, and these tube feet arising from the ambulacral groove. Ambulacral groove. So water vascular system is also called as ambulacral system, and a tube-like structure or tube feet projecting from that ambulacral groove, which are helping them in locomotion. Which is helping them in case of locomotion. So these are the some important features of phylum Echinodermata. And what is oral side and aboral side? So mouth is present on the ventral side. Mouth is present. Their mouth is present on the ventral side, and anus is present on the dorsal side. Okay, mouth is present on the ventral side and anus is present on the dorsal side. Their alimentary canal is complete. Now I am wrapping this portion. So what are the next properties? So they are having complete digestive system because they are having both mouth and anus, and mouth is present on the dorsal side and anus is present on the mouth is present on the ventral side and anus is present on the dorsal side, okay, or upper side. Now we have seen the main distinctive features of that, and their symmetry is pentamerous. That means 5. Okay, multiplication of 5. This is also that may or adult so pentaradial symmetry, like that. If I draw a structure of echinoderm, as you all of you are aware of this structure, this is called as starfish, okay, or Asterias, or this is called as starfish. I am repeating, this is called as starfish or Asterias. Scientific name of starfish is Asterias. Look, these are showing that pentamerous or pentaradial symmetry. Okay, it is also a main property of echinoderms. And how reproduction is taking place? They are doing sexual type of reproduction. They are having sexual type of reproduction, and sexes are separate, and fertilization is usually external. Separate sex. Their fertilization is usually external. One important characteristics of phylum Echinodermata is they are lacking an excretory system. They don't have any type of excretory system. So, no particular excretory system is found in case of phylum Echinodermata. Okay, and I have mentioned that their development is indirect because some larval stages are found, and these larval stages are free swimming. They exhibit some free swimming larval stages in case of Echinodermata. Okay, and how do they respire? Their respiration occurs through skin gills, or there are some different structures in different types of echinodermata by which their respiration is taking place. Okay, so these are the all important characteristics of phylum Echinodermata. So what are the examples of phylum Echinodermata? As I have mentioned, that is Asterias or starfish, except that sea urchin, sea lily, sea cucumber. These are the some common names of phylum Echinodermata because it looks like that. I have mentioned that they are exclusively marine. That means mainly they are found in seawater. So that's why. And they are forming different type of structures. This sea lily, sea fan, sea urchin, you have to remember the common name and scientific name also. Okay, so these are the some examples of echinodermata. And you have to remember that water vascular system, calcareous endoskeleton, that ambulacral good, that a peculiar tube feet or podia is developed, which is helping in case of locomotion. Okay, and they are showing pentameral symmetry. These are the main features of, and this ambulacral groove is present on the oral side of the body. Okay, so these are the main features of phylum Echinodermata. Next we will read phylum Hemichordata. So our next phylum is phylum Hemichordata. As you know that hemi means half, that means it is having some chordate like characteristic. That's why first that group was under the phylum Chordata as a separate subphylum. Okay, first it was considered under phylum separate subphylum, but now due to the after a proper observation that it has been considered as a different phylum, which is called as phylum Hemichordata. Okay, so first it was in under phylum Chordata, now it is in under phylum Non-Chordata. So now we will see the important characteristics of phylum Chordata. So first term comes, that is stomochord. Stomochord is an important property because in case of Hemichordata, notochord is absent and it is transformed into a structure which is called the stomochord, and it is present in the proboscis, and it is a hollow outgrowth from the roof of the buccal cavity. Okay, and what I have said that where it is present, that it is a rudimentary structure. It is a rudimentary structure which is similar to notochord. Usually they are lacking notochord, but they are having a notochord like structure which is called a stomochord. It is similar to notochord. This structure is similar to notochord and it is called as stomochord. And how their body is? Their body is they are having soft and unsegmented body, and they are exclusively marine. Exclusively marine, and they are called as worm-like. That is a common example of phylum Hemichordata is tongue worm. Okay, so they are called as marine worm. Okay, so their body is very soft and any segment is not there. That's why they are called as unsegmented body, and they are exclusively marine. What are the different other characteristics? They are having organ system level of their common features. Now we will consider organ system level of body organization. They are triploblastic. They are coelomate. Okay, these are the common features of phylum Hemichordata. So what we will call that worm-like marine animals, okay, or worm-like marine organisms or worm-like marine animals, and their body is their body shape is cylindrical. Their body shape is usually cylindrical, as you can see. Their body is of cylindrical like, and their body is divided into some parts, that is proboscis, collar, trunk. Their body is having divided into proboscis, collar and trunk. These are the main three portions of their body, that is proboscis, collar and trunk. And they are triploblastic animal, and their symmetry, they shows bilateral symmetry. They shows bilateral symmetry. And how their circulation type, circulatory system, their circulatory system is a open type. So they are having open type of circulatory system. As you know the difference between open type and closed type of circulatory system, and how their respiration is taking place. Their respiration is by gills. So with the help of the gills, so respiration is through gills. As they are marine, so gills are the main respiratory structure in case of phylum Hemichordata. And they are having a special excretory organ which is called as proboscis gland. Proboscis gland. This is their excretory organ. So it is an important feature, that is they are having a excretory organ which is called as proboscis gland. And they are having some larval stages, that means their development is indirect, as they are having some larval stages, so they are showing indirect type of development. What is the name of the larva? A free swimming Turnerial larva. It is a free swimming larva, Turnerial larva, which is free swimming, is found in case of phylum Hemichordata. And their fertilization is external, okay, and sexes are separate. So they are having separate sex and external fertilization. Okay, so these are the main characteristics of phylum Hemichordata. And what is the example? That is Balanoglossus, Saccoglossus. Okay, and this Balanoglossus is commonly known as tongueworm. These Balanoglossus, Saccoglossus are the examples of phylum Hemichordata. Okay, so these are the main properties of phylum Echinodermata and phylum Hemichordata. With that, we have completed the non-chordate parts. Okay, so in our next class we will read about the chordates. Okay, so thank you.